most important thing in the world is health, because you have nothing if you're dying. Second thing is family and friends who you love. And the third is money, because it's everything else. The smartest thing the rich people ever did was convince the broke people that money doesn't make you happy. Biggest scam alive, because money is freedom. It's freedom to drive what you want, eat where you want, go where you want. Money is freedom. So you want to say money doesn't buy happiness, well then you're saying you're happy to be a slave, because only money is going to give you freedom. So money absolutely is happiness, because freedom is a bare minimum requisite to happiness. I can't think of many scenarios where being rich was a detriment over being poor. There's not many. I think money is a bare minimum requirement for happiness, especially if you're a masculine man who wants to outcompete. Then you need money, because money is basically everything. And they've convinced people, the poor people, oh yeah, he has money, but you know, I have friends and family who love me. So do I. People are psyoped into thinking that rich people are somehow lacking somewhere else. And I'm sure some of them are, but not all of them. There are some people that have everything, you just have to accept it. Some people just have it all. They have friends and family and good relationships and love their kids and a bunch of money. And if that doesn't anger you to get up and make a bunch of money, well, I don't know what will. I can't stop myself working as a person who doesn't need money. And then there's people with no money who don't work. It blows my mind, which is why the winners are winners and the losers are losers. Losers do a little bit of work and rest. Winners work as hard as possible and worry they're not working hard enough. I have something I sent in my email recently. I said, you could give the average man a brand new Ferrari and a road map and a coffee and a full tank of gas and tell him the destination, success. And halfway along the drive, he'll quit because it's too far. No matter how well you set it up for people, they'll quit. You know, I always found the one thing that was always amazing to me, and this happened to me even just the other day. I'll be driving one of my 59 Supercars, and it's raining, and it's dark, and it's cold. And I see people at a bus stop, and I'm at the traffic light. It's freezing, and it's raining, and it's nighttime, and you can't afford an Uber. If that won't motivate you, I don't know what will. Because the worst thing about the bus isn't the bus, it's the time you wait for the bus. Time is money. You're gonna stand there for 45 minutes in the freezing cold and waste your time to save a couple dollars on an Uber, and you don't feel panic to get rich? This is another thing that's amazing to me about motivation. I don't feel motivated. Neither do I sometimes. You're not gonna always feel like doing it. You have to do it anyway because it's your duty to do it because you don't want to be a f***ing loser. That's the whole point. If you felt like doing it all the time, then there would be no magic to it. The magic is that you do it regardless of how you feel. What do you mean you need motivation? You don't need motivation. You have a duty to not be a loser anymore because the hole in the sky is closed. I think men are happy when they feel better. I think we're naturally competitive. That's why we've always done what we've done. Why did Genghis Khan need Vienna? Because he won. Why do I need the stuff I have? Because other people can't have it, it's mine. And I think that's where masculine happiness comes from, because I think men are happy when they feel respected. And you're gonna respect yourself if you look around and you have things other people don't have. Why do you play sports?
To win.
To win. Why do you want to put a ball in a net more times than the other people? To show that you're better than them at putting a ball in a net. How insignificant an action. A ball in a net. Who cares? A much more significant action would be making a bunch of money, or being physically stronger, or a better fighter, or being smarter, a quicker talker, or being more well-known, more respected, more influential. That's far more important than putting a ball in a net. And you'll spend your time putting a ball in a net to prove you're better than other people. So don't sit and say that I'm a bad person for proving I'm better than everyone else by all the things I'm doing. That's masculine competition. If there's a game being played and some men realize it's a battle and some men don't realize there's a battle going on, how can they possibly win? So some of you men are waking up every day not realizing you're in a forever permanent competition with every single man around you. For everything. All of the time. And that doesn't ever cross your mind and you wonder why you permanently lose. Well, it crosses my mind and that's why I'm beating you. And why billionaires buy a bigger yacht than the billionaire next to them. They do not need an extra 20 feet of deck space. They want the biggest yacht in the harbor. It's the reason why they buy one-of-one Picassos. It's the reason why when Bugatti launch a new car with 80 units, they're all sold same day. That's why. because winners all think the same way. And anyone who sits and goes, well, you should be more humble. I hear that sometimes. And then I look at who said it. Whenever somebody gives you their opinion on anything, listen to the opinion and then stop and look at who told it to you. Because you never want to adopt the thinking of somebody who you don't want to be. Because their thinking made them. So whatever they believe in their mind is why they are the person they are. So if somebody sits and says to you, you should be more humble, he believes I should be more humble. That's how his mind operates. The closer my mind operates to his mind, the more likely I am to be like him. Who is he? And I'll look at the person who said that to me and say, no. Because most people who talk about humble, all they really want is to not be reminded of how they have failed. They don't want me to make it clear to them that they have failed. They have failed. I feel like normalcy has been changed from being a winner to being a loser. So now being normal is just losing in a way which is so familiar to the people around you are losing that you don't realize you've lost it all. Because everyone's losing. So you're like, oh, I'm just normal. No, you've all lost. You've all lost. None of you are free. You've all lost. And that's even more scary. You can't even be normal anymore. To be a winner, you have to be exceptional. You could be a winner as a normal person only 50, 60 years ago. Now the normal people can't even win. So you need to be able to do amazing things and then be proud of yourself. The problem with most people in the world today is not that they do a normal thing, it's that they do a normal thing and they don't try to be the best at it. So you can be a barista and you can just make coffees, or you can be a barista that makes the fancy coffees and can turn over all the cups and do like the tricks and all the garbage. We have a man who became a billionaire from salt.
Yes.
From salt. You can all put salt on, he did it the best. Bam. So the first thing you need to do is get very good at making coffees. That's the first thing you need to do. Be able to do it in a fancy way. Then you need to solicit attention. When you can make coffees in a fancy way, you can hire a videographer, you can then begin to make fancy coffees in a fancy way, and you can make it look good with a finalized product, and you can get a nice video made that's well cut with some fancy music. You can begin to put them on Instagram and solicit people to watch your Instagram page. Now you have attention. How do you then turn that attention into money after you began to show your fancy coffees? Well, you could, let's say, put together a course or an academy or write a book on the magic of coffee or the secrets of coffee. And you would put a mystery on it. Don't say, I'll teach you how to make coffee. No, say the secrets of coffee. You'd have a link in your Instagram page and it would be $9 and it would tell people the secrets how to make coffee, for example. You'd start to sell that for $9. You'd make a couple hundred or a couple thousand, not too much, but you continue to make fancy coffees. People continue to go to your Instagram page. You're now selling the secrets of how to make coffee. Then, after people start knowing you as being a barista, you start to make these $9. You have $20,000, $30,000 in the bank. What you can do is launch your own coffee brand. You can go to Alibaba.com, you can find some coffee beans, you can put your face on it because your face is now a recognized brand. You can get your own coffee beans, you can begin to sell them on Instagram. Before you know it, you're making $10,000 or $15,000 a month. You can start to do tours. You can start to put posters on your Instagram or in your Instagram stories saying, I'm gonna do master classes on how to make coffee, 20 people only, $1,000 each at this premium barista specialty coffee shop in London. The coffee shop will allow you to do it for free because they want people to know, get the advertising from you and your brand. You'll charge $1,000 each, that's 20 grand for a day. They teach people how to pour milk in a cup. Boom. It is that easy to get rich in the world today if you actually try. You try. Instead, you'll go to work every day, make the coffees, go home, off. Some people are so lazy that they will work every day instead of get rich. And they think because they're working every day that they're not lazy. So I think the best mental model as a man is to understand that you cannot be normal, you need to be exceptional, you need to do exceptional things. That ties into the exceptionally good and the exceptionally bad, like we talked earlier, which means you need to be hard on yourself so you can deal with the exceptionally bad. And if you start to do all these things, they all compound. Everything I've said across all these hours all tie into each other, and you end up in one result. You end up in one place, which is brutal competence, brutal masculine competence. There's nowhere else to be.